Hi, this is Mr. Elms with the Read Aloud, Think Aloud. This is coming from Cheyenne's story, and she says, I'm 14 years old right now, so you can only imagine how young I was when I started drinking alcohol and using drugs. I always thought that I could make my own choices, that I would never be just a statistic. But I was 8 years old when I had my first drink with my dad. He was going to jail the next day, and thought it would be one last hurrah for me to get drunk. From that point until I was 12, my drug of choice was alcohol. I had a certain negative perception of drug accidents and therefore had no interest in doing drugs. So what changed? Well, I met an older guy, a druggie, who asked me if I wanted to get high one day, and so I did. We hung out regularly, and as you expect, my drug use became more frequent. Pot replaced alcohol as my drug of choice. At the time, I was visiting a lot of chat rooms, meeting druggy guys, and they would give me an IM and asking me if I drank or got high. I didn't think too much about giving them my cell phone number. We would end up meeting to drink, get high, or mess around with prescription drugs. When I wasn't hanging out in chat rooms, I was posting stuff to my MySpace profile. I lied about my age and posted pretty seductive pictures to attract guys. Most were between 16 to 25 years old, and of course I attracted the druggy types because my profile page is filled with talk about smoking and drinking. I dug the attention and acceptance, but the drugs really took a toll. I was rushed to the hospital 3 times for drug and alcohol abuse. I couldn't stop though. I would skip school for fear of missing out on something. I equated fun with drugs and drugs with meeting people, and I loved meeting new people. I started buying drugs online and had them delivered to my home mailbox. In 2005, I switched schools and heard about a website from other students where drug users posted messages talking about getting high the night before. I got on the site, lied about my age again, and began making drug deals online. Because my mom was working all the time and my dad was out of the picture, it was pretty easy to get away with a lot of the stuff. It wasn't until I refused to go to school that my mom put me in treatment. I'm 7 months into it and I'm glad to be recovering. If I had anything to share with parents, especially if they're divorced or accepted, it would be this. Be on the same page about your kid, even if you hate each other. I use my parents against each other all the time, making it easier for me to get in trouble. Check in with your kid often and sneak around if you suspect something. Learn how to check a computer history log. If my mom knew how to do that, she would have discovered my problem a lot earlier. Fact is, I never erased it. And think to yourself, something is up if you keep seeing blank screens every time you walk by your kid's computer and get a lot of nothing type responses when you ask, what are you up to? So, I always thought that I wasn't just a number, but it turns out that I fell into it. I made some pretty bad choices, and I'm paying the price for it now.